Hello, everyone, and welcome to our first ever podcast episode. This is our Powerful People, Powerful Stories episode for Cross Shield. So, the purpose of this podcast is to bring amazing people in to have an interview with them to get to know more about their story, where they are on their journey of the goals and dreams that they have for themselves, and really kind of what value that they can provide to you as they share their journey with you. So today we're really excited to have one of our own team members today. We have Amanda Hershberger. Amanda is a team member here at Cross Shield. She does a lot of amazing things, and we'll let her share a little bit about kind of what those things are that she does here at Cross Shield. But the reason that I wanted to bring Amanda on is for a number of different things. First and foremost, she is an amazing financial coach. She has the heart of a teacher. She has been working with just so many clients over the years. She's been an integral part to what we do here at Cross Shield. And I felt like it'd be important for the audience just to get to know her from a personal perspective. Amanda is on many of our podcasts talking about some of the articles that we have to deal with in our Wealth Blend, has been on our Too Many S's podcast in the past. But we really never have given Amanda an opportunity just to really share with the world who Amanda is. So we want to be able to do that today. So Amanda, welcome to Powerful People, Powerful Stories. How are you today?
Thank you so much, Rudy. I really appreciate it. I'm doing okay. I've got a bit of a fight against the tail end of a cold, so I apologize for the raspiness, but I don't think it will take away from the impact on telling my story.
Fantastic. Well, it's great to have you. And listen, you do incredible work as a financial coach with our team, with your clients. I look at the testimonials that your clients share with us and the impact that you have helped them make in their lives, with their money, with their relationships, with their careers. And it's just really, really powerful, which is why we invited you to come on to the podcast and share really your powerful story. So, Amanda, if you don't mind for the audience, let's just open up. And who is Amanda Hershberger?
Well, obviously, my name is Amanda Hershberger, but I'm, just like everybody else. I had experiences in life that created the person who I am today. I am a mom. I, own a business. I help with this business, and I get to create an impact in people's lives, and that's a big part of who I am. I want to create
Mm,
change, a positive change in people's lives. That was my ultimate goal. I traditionally come from an accounting background. And so, in business management background, I went on one path and realized that that wasn't the way I could create the most impact. So I sort of switched gears and transitioned more into the coaching realm and found the joy in it and have never left since.
fantastic. Okay. And let's see. Where do you live, Amanda? What part of the world are you in?
I currently live in Owasso, Oklahoma. I absolutely love it here. Originally, I'm from Texas. Me and my husband both came from Texas, born and raised. It was a big impact on the family, big hullabaloo. If you don't know anything about the rivalry between Texas and Oklahoma, buckle up, Buttercup. It's pretty fun. And but we absolutely love it here, and we love everything about it here. And we're definitely not going anywhere. We're so happy.
Very cool. Tell us a little bit about, our audience is really curious about us personally,
Yeah.
not just the business side and kind of what we do from that perspective. And I think it's a really good perspective in this powerful person, series podcast that we do.
Yeah.
Just a little bit more about you personally. So, what does your
Oh,
family
sure.
situation look like? What do you like to do for fun?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just kind of go in that personal side a little bit more.
Oh, I love bragging about the people in my life, and that's really what matters to me is when I talk about my life, I talk about the people in my life. I have
Mm,
amazing friends here. They're just absolutely incredible, genuine, authentic people that I can have genuine, authentic conversations with, which is so, so important. And I have an amazing family. I have an incredible husband, and his name is Matt, and I have two kiddos, Levi and Lily, and they're 13 and 15. Well, my daughter's about to be 13 next month, but she's
Yeah,
acted
yeah.
like,
Don't shortchange her
yeah,
mom,
don't
right?
shortchange her. Yeah, yeah. She acted 13 since she was 3. But I absolutely love my kiddos. They are the light of my life, and they are just everything. And they are so much fun to raise. A lot of work, but so much fun, so worth it. And we love being outside. We itch to be outside. This winter weather is kind of killing us a little bit because we can't be outside nearly as much as we like to. We love going hiking, we love being, camping. We are just all about it. And we
Mm,
connecting with late nature. It's a way for us to disconnect from everything else and just connect with each other. Because once again, family is the center of everything for us. And I'm very close to my extended family as well. Family is really, really important to me. It's a deep part of who I am. And it's, helped shape who I am today, and for the good or bad, ugly, all of it rolled into one. And I think
mm,
that's what creates powerful people, is what they do with their lives and their paths and how they use it to create positive change in the
mhm.
future. And so all outside of outside stuff, I love to crochet and knit because I was 80 when I was started, like about 6, I think is when I started doing it. And cross stitching, but I was more on the yarn side. But so I've always been an old lady, and yeah, it's super fun hobby, and especially for somebody that loves to count like me. And so that's a little bit about me.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, you do a lot of counting
I do,
whenever
you
you
do.
I didn't think about that. That's
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So it's a fun hobby. If you like to count and you love numbers and you love structure, it's a good hobby to have. And you can also make some fun money on the side too. And they make great gifts. And so what's not
Yeah,
fun about that?
yeah. Absolutely. Well, very cool. Our personal lives are important in what we do and how we
Oh yeah.
work with our clients here at Cross Shield. And it's always good to share a little bit of that with people so that there's a connection, there's an understanding, there's trust that gets kind of established in that process. So thanks for sharing a little bit about your personal side of things.
Of course.
So, Amanda, you are a financial coach
I am.
with Cross Shield Financial. You do a lot of different things too. I want to dig into the financial coach aspect, but before I get there, why don't you talk a little bit more? You mentioned it earlier, but I'd like for our audience to know a little bit more about why you decided to get into what led you to get into financial coaching, kind of what your maybe your background is that got you there. And then I want to ask some questions about financial coaching specifically. So just tell us a little bit about what got you doing what you're doing with financial coaching.
100%. So I started out, once again, super detailed, loving numbers person as I was. I was really interested in accounting early on. And my dad, being a business owner, he really fostered that. And he helped me learn about accounting. And through his business, he was so generous and kind to let me learn from that and build on that and learn how to build clients and build that process. And I'm really appreciative of that. And so he was able to combine my love of numbers and love of being able to run my own business and combine those aspects together. And so my natural progression as I was going into college, which I was very determined to do, was to get my CPA license, because I said, okay, accounting, so that's the only path for numbers and accounting. That's the only path, because when you're 18, you know everything. And
Correct.
and so
I
and no
did.
and I was so stubborn that nobody could tell me different, obviously. And so of course I went into business management, and because I was also interested in the business ownership aspect of it. Mainly because I really admired my dad. My dad, he, was an immigrant. I was the only one born in America out of my family. And
Okay.
I was the last one born, and he took us from nothing and he made something amazing. And he worked so diligently and so hard without knowing the language. I mean, he did everything right, and he worked so hard. And I wanted to not only take that but multiply that. And so
Wow. Okay.
I wanted to do one better so that my kids can one day do one better, and, and just keep amplifying what we've learned and instilling that in my children. And so, once again, big family importance there. And so I started with my, did the bachelor's, done one and done. And I was starting some hours on my CPA license, and I was doing tax returns, which were easy for me. I had already done tax classes. It wasn't a big deal. But I was like, but wait, we could help them so much more if we were focused on this, and if we did this, and if we strategized without them throughout the year. And he said, yes, that's great for an internal accountant or so another role, but that's not our role here. That's not what a tax accountant's purpose is. Yes, we're there to help them with tax breaks. Don't get me wrong, guys. They do. And they're amazing people, and they will help you with your business, and they're a critical part of a business. But that my role was not helping them save money throughout the year and strategize, and to
Hmm.
because it's not easy running a businesses, and I saw businesses fail all over the place. I had my ear close to the ground to that even early on as a kid. I could see businesses failing left and right. And
Hmm.
it really broke my heart. And I said, I want to get down to the point of, why are these businesses failing? Why are families finances failing? My parents were a very, very, very integral part of our church. And, I also, saw just individual families' finances failing, and how it destroyed their families.
Hmm.
And it
Yeah.
was like, I can't do that through taxes. I need to find a different way to create an impact in these people's lives, because that's what I want to do. I want to make a difference in their lives. I said, anybody can learn tax law and help people get tax deductions. Not saying anybody, but it's not where my heart was. My heart was in helping the people change their lives. And I wasn't seeing that through a tax return. I wanted to see the life change. I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to help see what could make that change possible. What's the best method of making that change possible? So that was something
Hmm.
that I studied heavily, and switched gears from the CPA route to helping individuals and families. And then I found that I could do that through coaching, and there was an actual title to it. And so that's why I switched
Yeah.
gears to coaching, because that's really where my heart lies. I
Hmm.
I wanted to create less of a struggle for people so they could find success in their dreams. And the one of the biggest, roadblocks is money. And I just didn't want that to be a roadblock for people anymore. I wanted them to be able to use their talents, their beliefs, their, gifts and abilities. And if money's the only obstacle, I can help you with that. We can help figure that out together, and how to be successful in that area so that you can go create the impact. And if I
Hmm.
can use, and
Wow.
if that's how I can use my gift, I'm so thankful.
Yeah, that's very, very cool. So let's kind of take that and segue into this conversation about financial coaching for our audience from your
Mhm.
perspective as a senior financial coach at Cross Shield Financial. Um, the financial coaching space industry, however you want to describe it, it's something that it's growing in reputation. It's
Yeah.
growing in just understanding and knowledge about what it is and what financial coaching can do for people. Um, if you don't mind, just share with the audience a little bit of, you do this day in and day out, and
Right.
you've worked with, just a ton of clients. But tell our audience, really get from your perspective, explain to our audience what financial coaching is, um, and what makes financial coaching different from actually from all other financial services professionals, right?
Right.
From, let's say, financial advisors, right? That perspective, from CPAs, from accountants, from all these other tools out there. So, Amanda, what is financial coaching for our audience?
That's a great question, because I get that question almost instantly when I tell people what I do and who I
Yeah.
am. Because, when you're a financial coach, it's part of who you are. And so you're just itching to
Yes.
tell people about it, because
Yes.
you're bleeding it from your soul.
Yeah.
and, and so, because you want to make that change, it's in us. And so, what if you're like, oh, so you help people with their investments, is the first answer I get. And I'm like, no. But that's called a financial advisor. They will be happy to, put investments where they need to be, explain the situations, explain what's best for you. And we work very, very closely with them, in fact. And we work very closely with CPAs as well. CPAs will help you with your taxes, help you find the best tax deductions for you, make sure that you're on the right path, especially if you have a side business or a business, making sure you're not going to get penalized for not paying things on time. They're phenomenal for all of those things. And, but a financial coach is different, obviously. But the key is in the word finances, money, and we're a coach. So traditionally, when people think of coaches, they think of, back when you were in PE or, like at soccer field, most of us played soccer when we were 5 or 6, and you have the coach telling you, teaching you how to do things, building your skills in whatever athletic thing you're doing. And they're teaching you how to be a better you. And they're coaching you through the process. Well, that's what a financial coach does. They take the money that you have, the money that you're working with right now, and they coach you on how to better manage that money, because
Mm.
what we focus on is what we will succeed at. And
Oh, yeah.
so that's what I tell my clients all the time. So if you aren't focusing on your finances and it's just running your life, you're not going to be successful at it. I'm very sorry. And I've seen that in my own personal life. I've seen it over and over again in businesses, and I've seen it over and over again in other people's personal lives. It's
Yeah.
1000% true. If we don't focus on our money, it's going to run us and we are not going to run it. And so
Mm.
that's what a coach does. It teaches you where to begin, and things that you don't even realize you needed to learn, because finances bleed in every part of our lives. They bleed into your insurance, they bleed into your retirement planning. There's so many different aspects. They bleed into your children and what your children will learn about money and the foundations they will have on how they spend money. And so it bleeds into every single aspect of your life.
Mm.
And so,
Yeah.
coaching that's what we do. We teach people about their finances, and we teach, and that's hard, especially when you're part of a group of 2. That becomes really, really hard because usually you don't agree on it. It's one of the things that couples fight about the most. And it's one of the things they're least willing to talk about, even above many other very sensitive subjects. You'd be surprised. And so, or maybe
Yeah.
you're not surprised if you're married. And and so
Yeah.
we help also bring that together and help bring, cohesiveness in that area as well. And it's
Mhm. Yeah.
amazing how that bleeds into the relationship that you bring to each other. And so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. So I understand what it is. Um, so you're walking alongside people that have said, okay, you know what? I'm at a place where maybe I don't really know where I'm at with my money. Um, I want some things that I want to accomplish. I know it's going to take my money to do that, but I don't know how to do that, where to begin.
Right.
So, Amanda, talk to our audience a little bit about, we understand what it is. Tell our audience about how you coach with
Yeah.
people, like the tools that you may use that are necessary, the process maybe that you go through, because I know many of our audience are like, okay, well, okay, I get that. I get that it's not a financial advisor. I get that it's not a CPA. There's specific things. This is really more about helping me change my behavior and how I manage a certain aspect of my life based on what I want to accomplish. How does it work?
So that's what I love about financial coaching is it's very personal. It's
Okay.
not the reason I didn't go into the financial coaching aspects is like, oh, you help people get out of the debt. I was like, yes, but that's about this much of coaching, of
Oh,
financial
yeah.
coaching. It's amazing because I really didn't start that process of saying, hey, I need a coach until after I got out of debt. And I realized
Ah,
how critical it was to have somebody help walk alongside me and look
mm,
from a bird's eye view of, okay, yes, this is your money and this is where it needs to go, but have you thought about this? And I'm like, no, because my emotions were totally wrapped up over here and I was only seeing options A, B, and C. And now you just gave me option A through Z, and my whole life perspective changed. And so
yeah.
that's what coaches do. Successful people, successful professional athletes, they have multiple people in their corner. And that's the reason we coach, is because they have very specific needs. A pitcher's coach looks very different than a batter's coach. They're very different aspects, and that's why coaching is very personalized. Our financial coaching is very personalized because we do have people that are struggling and trying to get out of debt, and they just can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, and they're like, I don't even know how I'm going to make the electric bill, much less anything else. And so we have people that come into our lives that are like that. So that coaching process is going to start very differently because it's very personalized. And then I have other people that said, "Yeah, we're out of debt and we're doing great, but we go to the end of the month and we're still don't have any money." And
Yeah.
I don't get it. How are we still not having money? And I can't even put into money into retirement. What's going on? How am I even going to retire? Where, can I retire? Am I going to be able to retire early? What does my life look like? I don't even know how to do that.
Yeah.
And that's where we're teaching people the old adage of how to fish. And so we're not fishing for them. We're going to teach you how to fish and how to go on about the rest of your life and make informed financial decisions
Mm,
so that you can reach the goals that you want to do in your future. That's why our very first session with our clients is a goals and dreams session, because we want to know, where do you want to be? Because you have no idea how to get there
right.
unless
Yeah.
you have goals set in place.
Yeah. That is so powerful. So I love the analogy of teaching people how to fish. So you're teaching people um, the things that if they do them, will help them get to the goals. And I think you're also providing them with the fishing pole tool, the line
Exactly.
tool, even the hook. And you're also providing them with those tools and resources and say, okay, you know what? If you throw your hook over here with the bait that we're going to recommend that you put on the hook, let's see what we catch, right?
Exactly.
So
And
not only
that's
do you guide them and provide the education, but you also give them the tools because you want them to build those muscles.
Mhm.
You started to share something. I apologize for cutting you off.
No, thank you for asking the question. You're 1000% correct. I completely bypassed the tools that we use. And the tools are our fishing pole, the tools are our lures, the tools are our everything. Because and the foundation of our tools, as simple as it sounds, is a budget. And I wish I could make it more complicated than that and give you some, glitter and pizzazz. But really, honestly, the simplicity of it is what makes it so beautiful, is because
Yeah.
it's not complicated. Anybody can do it. It's just, are you willing to do the work to change your life forever? And
Mm,
to change your children's lives and to create legacy change, even if you don't have
yeah.
children, bleeding that into the other kids that are part of your life and
Yeah.
creating that change. It's as simple as starting a budget. And we
Mm,
teach you how to do it in a simple way that no matter your personality type, no matter if you aren't very good with numbers or you aren't very good with keeping up with detail, we help you create a system that works well for you, and how to create that budget and how to stay consistent with it and how to keep your goals in mind while you're doing this. Because trust me, I love numbers. Numbers are my jam. But even I get tired at the end of the day, and I'm like, I don't wanna look at my own money at the end of the
yeah.
day. Like, I get tired of it. I get it. I understand. And so how do I create that motivation? How do I keep that going? Because I'm gonna give you lots of tools. I'm gonna show you how to get out of debt. I'm gonna show you how to save for big things that you wanna do, big goals, and pay for them in cash, which sounds crazy. It sounds crazy to say, "Yeah,
Cash?
my
What?
next car, I'm just gonna drop a check down and just like a boss."
Oh
And,
man. Yeah.
and that seems impossible, Amanda. That's dumb. That's not even real. But it is real. And I can show you how to do that. And there's tools that we have, many, many tools to help you plan for retirement, to help you save for the big things, to help you pay off the big things. It is humanly possible. And I'd love to teach you how to do that, because we have some great tools that
Mm,
you take with you so that you can be an avid fisherman and not just sitting there with a little pole and a string in the water. You're gonna have the professional stuff. And
wow, that
so,
is super great. So, um, why doesn't everybody do this, Amanda? I mean,
um,
how you described it and what we do, it's like, why isn't everybody doing this?
I
I'm just
I
curious.
I honestly believe deep down in my heart that the desire is truly there. I think the desire
Yeah.
is there.
Right. Right.
But sometimes, either we lose the perspective of why we're doing it, of why,
Yes.
we want to have be do
Yeah.
better than before. And I also think that, some people just see it as insurmountable. It's
Yeah.
like,
Sure.
it's just like, well, it's zero. They're just throwing pipe dreams at me. There's no way that this is even possible for me because I'm living in this situation and I only make this much. And you know what's funny? And you know what I love so much about the system we use and the system that we work with every day is it works for you no matter what income you make, whether you make
Correct.
20,000 a year or you make $200,000 a year. And that's what I
Yeah.
love about the system is
Yeah.
you aren't limited by your income or by your circumstances, which is something that I love doing. And I feel those limiting beliefs is what keeps us all from doing
Mhm.
it, is that limiting belief in ourself and that limiting belief that something can actually change. And it
Yeah.
breaks my heart, but that's why we're doing things like this because we want to encourage people and let them know it is possible. And I've seen it possible from teachers, teachers
Yeah.
that we know how much they make, which is next to
Yeah.
nothing, to people that are very successful, but they still feel like they're going nowhere. And they still feel like they're making no money, even though they make well over six figures, both of them, but still nothing's
Yeah.
happening. And
Yeah.
so there's no momentum. So there's hope in both arenas.
Yeah. And two, going back a little bit to this, um, the reason that people struggle with doing this or not wanting to do this or whatever. Um, Talk to me a little bit about doing it on their own.
Oh man, doing it on your own, that sucks. I mean, I wish there was a nice word for it, but there's not. It just sucks.
No, it
It's
does.
like it's like me. I am not athletically inclined. I am the opposite, in fact. Like I trip over the sidewalk and there's nothing there. I can't catch a ball to save my life. Like I literally, failed PE multiple times because I could literally not put a volleyball over the net. I mean, I'm telling
Mm,
you, I am so I found out that if I wanted to get better, I was like, well, I could just give up. But I found out if I had somebody in my corner teaching me how to do these things, I can take something that I'm not good at and I can actually be decent at it. And I started doing that and I started having that belief in myself. And so I started having somebody in my corner saying, yes, you can do it. And saying, this is how, not only, yes, can you do it, but this is how. And that
right.
completely changed my life. And I know that sounds dumb as a little kid, that couldn't like literally tripped over a grain of sand to then being able to do gymnastics and swimming and be able to do all these other
Yep.
things, but it was my first perspective and I need people in my life that are going to teach me how to do things or I may never get there. And being able to humble myself and say I need your help, can you help me?
Yeah. Yeah.
That brings you into professionals. The higher the profession
Yes.
is, the more people they have in their corner teaching them
Right.
how to do
Right.
things. And then I realized the same thing was happening in business. I watched all these successful business people and I said, I want to be like them. What did they do to get there? And I found
Mm,
out they surrounded themselves with people that were more successful than themselves at whatever they wanted to do. And they said, please teach me how to
mm,
do this.
yeah.
And that's the more successful the person, the more people they had in their life helping to teach them to do whatever they wanted to do. And I was
I
like,
think that, yeah, go
key.
ahead. Sorry.
And I was like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. I'm sorry.
no,
I
you're
think
good.
that is incredibly powerful, Amanda, what you just articulated in bringing other people into your life that can help you accomplish the goals that you want, right? From our audience perspective,
Mhm.
um, we all have goals, we all have dreams. Some of those maybe we've turned that switch off or turned the volume down, right, for a while. Where
Right.
now we've maybe gotten to the place where we are believing that, yeah, that's not really for me. The things that Amanda is sharing, that's not me. That's for other people who have money and all that. Those people that are in that place, Amanda, what would you say to them?
Um, I mean, don't lose hope. Don't stop letting your limiting beliefs limit you, you
Ooh,
know, because you deserve so much more.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
You deserve so much more for yourself. It was funny, I was watching this old '90s sitcom, and it's only the '90s, like, I know that's more than 10 years ago, I get it, even though it doesn't feel like it. For all of us that are over 20 or
34.
whatever, yeah. Shh. Hush. Um, but it was funny because I was watching this show, And this dad was making fun of another dad at a bar or something about him going to therapy. And, "Oh, are you psychotic? Are you," and calling him all these names. But what was crazy was that was typical then. That was
Oh, right.
that was
Yeah.
an average scenario that most people experience, saying, "I'm going to therapy because I wanna better myself internally." When now a lot of that's been demystified and saying, "Hey,
Correct.
I
Yeah.
need help with my emotions. Can you help me?"
Yeah.
And I think that bleeds into everything else, is
Right.
being willing to say, "Hey, I need help with my money too. Can you help
Yeah.
me?" I think we need to demystify that needing help with your finances is a weakness. I mean, take your high school education. Take your high school math education as point A. How much did you learn about taxes? How much did you learn about budgeting? How much did you learn about car loans? How
Mm.
much did you learn about all of the things that retirement? Did you know
Yeah.
what a 401k was when you graduated high school? Did you know what a credit card how a credit card actually works? The 99.999% of us can say we learned 0. Now
Sure.
they're starting to learn, but even my son, he spent maybe 2 weeks so far, and he's in high school, and he still has learned barely the tip of the iceberg about finances that he needs for being successful, and he's only a couple of years away from graduating.
Yeah. 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 No, that's super, super good. So I know we're getting kind of close on time, but I want to ask two questions. My first question really is for our audience. And the question that I want to ask our audience is, you've seen the power of financial coaching for your clients. Talk to me a little bit about what that experience has been for you. And then I'd love for you to share with our audience some of the successes that you have helped your clients achieve in their financial coaching space. And Amanda, do you need to cut away for a little bit?
Nope, I'm good now. Sorry, the first question for me, please.
Oh yeah, no, it's okay.
Successes
So
with clients, and then I'm
yeah,
sorry.
the power of the financial coaching that you've experienced, right? Because you
Yeah,
coach with people, but you've also um, you work with a coach too.
yeah, absolutely.
So talk about that experience just briefly, and then the successes that you have seen your clients accomplish
Yeah.
with your coaching them.
And, it's silly because going into coaching, I was like, "I really don't need this. Why am I doing this?" As a
Yeah,
coach, that's kinda dumb, right? And then but I went into it thinking that, and then I realized within the first 30 minutes, I was like, "Oh my goodness." I said, "My coach is seeing things that aren't even on my radar right now, and I
yeah,
wasn't even thinking of." And this is with somebody who's been out of debt and has been very successful with money, but I could do so much more. And I can bring this to the next level. And who doesn't wanna go to the next level with money?
yeah,
And and so I realized very, very quickly that no matter where you are in your financial journey, no matter how successful you are, getting coaching in my finances is what's not going to just make me good with money, but make me amazing with money
yeah,
and see the world outside of myself and to
yeah,
help other people also see the world outside of themselves and remind myself that these people are feeling that way, that they are
yeah,
only getting to see A, B in perspective because
yeah,
that's how we see the world. We usually see it's black and white when there are so many different shades of gray and so many different possibilities outside of option A and option B, because this is what we believe the world is telling us.
yeah.
And, it
Yeah,
very quickly reminded me that I need to allow myself and humble myself to say, "Yes, please look at this because there is
yeah,
something else to be offered here."
yeah. Before you answer that second question, you brought up a topic that I want to just touch on briefly for our audience, and that is, okay, so if I've already got my finances and my money's in a good place, why in the world would I need coaching? You mentioned that your coach
Mhm.
helped you see additional things, helped you see more. What's the purpose? Like, what really is the big driver behind someone getting to the place where their money and their finances is good? What's the purpose behind all that? Because some of our audience may be saying, you know what, money's not a big thing for me. I don't really worry about it. If
Right.
if I make money, great. If I don't, it's okay. And that's for people that just want money. Like money is their world,
Right,
right?
right.
You get some of that cultural,
Oh, yeah.
feedback vibe, I guess, in a pushback of, yeah, money's not. I don't really want to focus on money. We shouldn't do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and that's really great perspective because, I get that all the time, even in the accounting world. You know what I
Yeah.
always tell them? I said, I go back to the old adage, "The love of money is the root
Ooh.
of all evil."
Okay.
Money is not evil. Money has 0 feelings, but loving it and worshiping it, that's what makes it the root of all evil.
Yeah.
Not but we're actually told to be good stewards of what we have and to be
Okay. Yeah.
we come from a Christian company. I'm a Christian. I believe I read in the Bible extensively that being a good steward and managing your money well is a form of being, a form of worship, basically. And it's honoring what I am entrusted with. And if I'm not honoring that trust, um, I'm not it boils down to something very spiritual for me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so having that outside perspective and saying, "Hey, I know you had all these things going on, but don't forget this, and don't what about this? Because this could happen." And guess what? Lo and behold, it happened. And
Yeah.
life kicked me in the teeth. And if
Yeah.
I didn't have a coach in my side helping me prepare for those things, I
Yeah.
would have not been ready for the things that I
Yeah.
didn't even see. Because we all walk in our world with blinders on and saying, "Well, I'm successful because I'm doing A, B, and C, and I didn't realize D, E, F, and G were over here." And that can come around and bite me in the butt if I don't pay attention to it as
Yeah.
well. And so that's what a coach helped me do. It helped me see that outside, perspective before it came around and bit me. And it did. It did bite me, and I was prepared for it then. And so that outside perspective was critical.
Yeah.
And also, generosity was a large component of that as well. It didn't occur to me, the things like that just didn't occur to me, and how that
Ah.
plays into everything as well. And adding that into my financial system, it's amazing how much that transforms the way I saw money. I being an accountant, we tend to hold on to money very tightly. We
Oh,
we
yeah.
we like to hold on to it tight because then it won't go away, and that's the exact opposite of
Ah, I
generosity.
see. Yeah.
And
So there's
so
definitely a lot more to your process in just helping people pay their bills, build wealth, and all that.
100%.
There's this longer term. Yeah. So a lot of legacy,
One
generosity. What do we really want to do with our money to make an impact on our
100%.
family, on the world? Yeah.
Legacy is huge for me. My dad, like I said, my dad, he worked very hard and he built his business up not once but twice. And his whole world got derailed and he did it all over again late in
Ah,
life and
yeah.
completely built an extremely successful business, which he created that legacy and said, "I want you to take this and not only do well with it, but do even better. I want this legacy to continue." And that's the same thing I want to do. I want my kids to know about their money. I want my kids to be wise with their money. I want my kids to go into the world knowing I know how to handle money well. And I know because teenagers and college students are some of the most preyed on people for
They are.
finances.
Yes.
And I've seen it
It,
firsthand with I have
yeah.
in fact a young client that just graduated college and he is preyed on constantly. And it's scary how much they are preyed on. And so to
Yeah.
be able to know that I can let my kids take that and multiply that and do even better than I did, they're my son's getting excited. He said, "Maybe I can pay for a house in cash." And that belief, that sounds
Yeah.
ludicrous to some people, but that sounds
That is
encouraging.
powerful. Yeah.
That's powerful to me because I know it's possible because I see people
Mm,
do it. And I see second generationers that of people that are, that learn this legacy discipline. I see that happen all the time. And what a cool thing, what a cool legacy to be able to leave to my kids and to see it for them
yeah.
to already see that possibility in their teenage years.
Love it. Love it. So let's go ahead and get to this last question
Absolutely.
for our audience. So we know who Amanda is, an amazing, powerful woman that is a powerful financial coach.
Mhm.
We understand what financial coaching is a little bit better. We understand kind of how you coach, right? The tools that you use, how you go about that process with your clients. We haven't really talked about the cost a little bit of that, and that may be beneficial to touch on that briefly before we get to this last question. So,
Yeah.
would it be okay to ask you a little bit about if people are looking at this and they're listening to this, this podcast, and they're thinking, "Wow, man, I need to connect with Amanda. I hear the story. It sounds amazing. Why haven't I gotten my own financial coach to help me get to where I want to go?" And now they're thinking, "I wonder how much it costs."
Mhm.
So could you kind of talk to that a little bit?
Absolutely. What it costs is highly dependent on your situation, which is why we have an
Mm,
initial consultation with our clients.
okay.
We have clients that are in very difficult situations that are going to take a lot more time and a lot more effort on our part to help them get through that situation. And although it's unfortunate, it puts a lot of our resources and a lot of our time into it. So that cost is going to be higher. And especially when we add businesses in and things like that, those costs are going to increase
Okay.
because we don't do things halfway. And our coaching
What do you
style,
mean halfway?
we're not here to hold your hand and just say that everything's gonna be okay.
Oh, okay.
We're going to invest ourselves 100%
Mm,
into what you are doing and to make sure you are successful because we teach powerful coaching. It's at the core of who we are, and we want to teach powerful people. And in order to do that powerfully, we need to have that investment in you and we need to be able to go full fledged. And we need to make sure you're on board with going full fledged into this
mm,
100% because, we don't want you to say, oh, well, I learned something new. That's nice. I learned this one thing and I learned about this. That's cool. No, that's not the experience you're gonna leave coming here with. The experience you're gonna leave here is saying my life changed forever. And now
transformation.
and
Yeah,
now
okay.
I get to make help other people's lives change, including my family.
Mm,
That's the kind of legacy. So so I say this is not for the weak. We are, it is, we are looking for people that are ready to say, I'm willing to make a change. I just don't know how to do it. Can you teach me? And
gotcha.
so
Yeah.
because of that people are in different areas of their lives and some people, yes, they are extremely successful and they're doing a lot of things very well. And so, it involves us coming in and fine tuning that and adding on to the levels they've already invested in themselves. And so that type of commitment, that price level looks very different than somebody that's saying, I need a lot of help and I'm in a lot of deep doo-doo. Can you
Yeah.
help me? And
Yeah.
so, because we're gonna commit to our clients 1,000%, that effort is gonna be heightened, and so that therefore the price range is going to change, which is why we do a personal coaching session. And then we have others that are just dipping their toes in the water, and they just really wanna learn and,
Yeah.
take it in slowly, and they just need
Right.
to start somewhere slower, and so we offer things like group coaching, where they can be part of a
Yeah.
team and part of a camaraderie and
There you
say,
go.
"Oh my goodness, there's other people that are just like me that are barely making it, and I don't even know how I'm gonna pay for my car payment next month. I just need help learning some basics and getting with a group of people that are struggling too. I need to know I'm not alone in this, and
Mm,
can you help me?" And so
okay.
we offer and knowing where is the right place for you is
Yeah.
the reason we do consultations and we take them so
Try to
seriously.
try to figure that out for them, get them
Exactly.
plugged into a place that makes sense for where they are with their motivation,
Right.
uh, and even with what they, can afford, right,
Exactly.
in the process. So there really is a place for everyone to plug in. So there's not really any excuse to not, engage.
Nope.
Love it. Okay, fantastic. So Amanda, our audience wants to know, okay, we get what financial coaching is. We've talked about what the costs are. We get how you do it. What are some of the, results that you've seen your clients
Oh,
experience,
that's the
over the years? Share with our audience just maybe, a couple of examples
yeah.
of powerful coaching that you've provided to your clients so that your clients can become powerfully transformed.
I mean, that's probably the funnest part about this job is not just seeing my life change, but seeing everybody else's life change and being able just to leave that little fingerprint on their life of seeing, their lives changed forever. And I got to be a part of that. Yeah, they did the work, but I got to help invest in that. I had a client, they went from not knowing a single thing about where their money made phenomenal money, made great money, but it was all gone at the end of the month. And they went from that to paying off, multi hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt in less than a year, in just
Oh,
under a
wow.
year. And, it was amazing to see the peace that flooded over them
Mm,
when they no longer owed a penny to anybody. It I'm so honored to be a part of that journey with them. And then I had a client, she, I feel my heart bleeds for single people because you're dependent on yourself. That's awesome because you have nobody else to answer to, but guess what? You're the only one you answer to.
yeah,
So you can tell
that's not
yourself
awesome.
yeah, and you can tell yourself no about in point 0.5 seconds, which is usually what happens because we're so beat down right now. We're so tired, we're so exhausted,
Mm,
and
yeah.
not having anybody in your corner is hard. So I had a client and she came in not making a ton of money. She did not make a ton of money, but she was committed to saying, "I want to change my life and I want to do something different." And she just didn't know how. And it took breaking down old habits and old learned habits from family and friends and it took some time. And that's okay. It's okay if it takes some time. But guess what? The change still happened. And that switch got flipped and she was able to see, "Oh, I can do this. Even though I only make this much, that means it was my beliefs that were limiting me." Nothing in her life's changed. She didn't get a massive raise. She didn't get, there was nothing massive that happened in her life except for the belief that she could do it. And it was amazing how opportunities came and knocking at her door when she was open and she had that belief of, "I want to make this change. I believe I can do it." And she was able to start paying off debt aggressively and really start seeing positive, impactful changes in her life. And all that switched was that belief. And I
Yeah.
think just as important as the money change and paying off debt and doing all these things, which is what she was doing, I think we can't let go of that fact that she believed that she could. And
Wow.
that is powerful.
That is really, really great. So, Amanda, as we're kind of wrapping up our time today, I'm going to let you just kind of close out this segment with you, and then I'll go ahead and wrap out the podcast. So,
Absolutely.
Amanda, speak to our audience and
Yeah.
just share a little bit with them about how they can contact you, how maybe you can encourage and empower them. So, I'll let you kind of have
Yeah.
the word from your standpoint.
Absolutely. If you're wondering if this is for you or not, there's no harm in reaching out. Reaching out is free. Asking is free. Getting information is free. Just ask, and it's that simple. And create, start believing in you. And I'd love to be a part of that journey with you. I'd love to help you. The thing that I love about being a part of this team is we are all passionate, deeply passionate about helping people transform their lives through their finances because we've seen how much has changed our life. So, reach out, book a time with me. There's a lovely little Calendly invite where you can pick a time that works well for you, even in your time zone. I am not restricted by time zones or countries. I love it. Bring it. Let's make it happen. And so that you can schedule a time that works well for the both of us so that we can meet and start having those initial conversations. Nothing is impossible to overcome. I fully believe that. 2020 may have jaded all of us, but not enough to where I don't think that it's impossible to overcome things. So please, please, please reach out, book a time. I'd love to speak to you. Go to our website. Not just checking out me, but all our other incredibly powerful coaches there and the things that we offer and the different options that we offer. There's so much information out there through our amazing Cross Shield website that you can learn more about our stories and who we are and how we can help you and how we want to help you create transformational change. And so, yeah, definitely start with the website, start checking things out, and we'd love to hear from you and love to have that initial conversation.
Love that, Amanda. Thank you so much. All right. Well, everyone, thank you for attending and watching the podcast, listening. Please like, share this across your platforms, and you'll find this podcast on all the platforms that are out there. I'm Rudy Upshaw, CEO and founder of Cross Shield Financial. And just want to remind you that you are powerful. And again, we help powerful people find financial solutions for life and business because everyone deserves to take control back of their money and to be powerful people. So love you guys. Amanda, thank you for the time today. And again, you'll find all the links in the description on how to connect with Amanda Hershberger, Senior Financial Coach with Cross Shield Financial. Thanks so much. You guys have a great
Absolutely.